to The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler.
What is up, Lock Shoppers? Welcome to the Lock Shop presented by Play Alberta, live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, brought to you by Play Alberta as well. They don't just bring you the Lock Shop, they bring you all of Edmonton Sports Talk. Matty in for Dustin Nielsen today. Hus will join us momentarily as well, as we've got a bit to get to on the show today. Our Canadian women's ice hockey team, I use ice hockey, so that's the official term of the Olympics. They take to the ice in mere minutes. As they will take on the Americans, a battle for gold taking place. Canada losing to the Americans in the round robin play. That would have been late last week. Would have that been? I'm trying to remember what day that was. Do you remember, Hernan?
What, for what?
Canada, U.S. women. Was that late last week? Because we were all at the office for that. That would have been late last week, yeah? It wasn't this week.
No, it was last week.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if it was late last week though, because they played they played 2 games after that, did they not?
You might be right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, because then they played the Finns. Yeah, so it might have been early last week. Okay. Well, it's at some point. It was last week. I was just like, it wasn't this week though.
No.
So we'll see if MPP, Mary-Philip Poulin, she will be in the lineup for Canada. She was not in the lineup last game. So that gets going. It's supposed to be 11:10 for puck drop. 11:35-ish, I believe it is, if we're going to be exact. Canada-Norway men's semifinal action at the curling, that's going to be taking place. Rachel Homan and her rink, they beat Korea earlier today, so they are advancing to the next round. I didn't see who they will be playing, but just based on time zone, I'm guessing the semifinal for that one will be taking place tomorrow. So we've got a few things to be paying attention to, though, for the rest of today, which includes, as I said, Canada, U.S. women's hockey. We've got Canada curling. But then we also will be a lot to preview when it comes to the Olympics and hockey on the men's side, as Canada 8:40 tomorrow, as the Lock Shop hits the air tomorrow with Dusty and Haas about this time. We'd either be going into overtime, knock on wood, hopefully not, or we're talking about what occurred at the end of Canada and Finland, as that game will get it going at 8:40. U.S.-Slovakia, that gets going at 1:10. So some fun hockey, a great day of hockey yesterday. We all kind of, I don't know how many people were awake for Slovakia, Germany, but after that, you had Canada and the Czechs, which was just an exciting hockey game, obviously, for all of us. We're happy with the result of it. You had the Swiss blowing a 2-0 lead, the Finns forcing overtime, Finns winning it in overtime, and then Sweden tying it late at 1 apiece against the Americans to go to overtime, only to fall to the Americans. Excellent. One of the best days of hockey that we've had in I don't know how long. So all that to get to, maybe with Huss and I, we could try to find some sort of bet to go for tomorrow's games on the men's side. Maybe, I don't know, the money line, there's nothing there, but maybe we could come up with some sort of play. For anyone in Edmonton, I don't know if you've seen the news. If you haven't, the Edmonton Elks announcing that May 29th, their preseason game, due to Commonwealth being used for World Cup friendly or preparation for the World Cup friendly that will be taking place on the Monday between Canada and Uzbekistan, they cannot have access to Commonwealth Stadium. So they're playing it at Clark Stadium. How exciting is that? Okay, I hate preseason sports, but I'm excited about this for the idea that it's at Clark. I've never seen a game at Clark. You followed this team for a long time. You worked for this team. Does this excite you, or are you just meh on this one?
No, yeah, I'm with you. Preseason football's terrible.
Yeah.
But I want to go just to take in the atmosphere. I know they said they're going to have additional seating. I'm intrigued to see how many they can fit in there, because obviously season ticket holders will get first opportunity, and I think that's the way it should be. But I think a lot of people are going to go want to check it out. That's where they started, right?
Yes.
You look at all the old pictures of the old teams. So, and I haven't watched the live sporting event at Clark Stadium in a very long time. So I'm pretty pumped, man. I'm going to try to get tickets. If not, just go with the media. But I want to take it in. You know what I mean? It's going to be kind of cool. It's probably going to be a full house. It's going to look a lot better than it does at Commonwealth. So
yeah.
I'm pretty pumped about that. So, yeah, good news, exciting news. Of course, it's due to the Canada game that we'll be at.
Yes,
a couple days after that. against Uzbekistan. So, yeah, it's looking like a fun 3 days, Matty, at Clark and then Commonwealth.
You got the Friday for the football game. You got a couple of days, and the Monday we got the other football match to get going with.
A bunch of football watchers.
That's the thing. I'm guessing that's going to be sold out. If you have a ticket, like you're going to want to try, because you're not going to get that experience again. No. I don't think the Elks are ever going to have another situation where they're like, we're going to go play at Clark. We're going to play a game there.
It's going to be a hot ticket, man.
Yeah.
And, a lot of new guys on the Elks as well. I mean, they were expecting the team to be much better this year. I think all that ties in well for the Edmonton Elks and that game, because I think we talked about this. Commonwealth Stadium for a preseason game is probably going to get the same amount that you would at Clark.
Last year, I went to the preseason games. I don't get to go to games. Yeah. I'm here at the studio with Jay, so I went to the preseason one. And I think, like you would, there's 9,000 or something. And it's preseason. Preseason football is just awful to watch, largely.
Even 8-9 is a lot.
But that would be that would be a sold out, packed atmosphere, and that'd be a lot of fun. It'll be just the experience. Are you going to get the greatest football? Largely, no. It's still preseason football.
And not just that. You're a lot closer to the action, man.
Well, that might be a bad thing for the Elks, because then people are like, how do we get this more often or something?
Yeah.
But hey, maybe if there's a great atmosphere, players will play a little bit harder, and it'll make for a fun game. So look forward to that. Looking forward to seeing how many seats that they'll be able to get there. Minutes away. They're on the ice. We're getting set for this gold medal game between Canada and the U.S. on the women's side. Let's bring him in, the other host of The Lock Shop. It is Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. Huss, you all set for Canada-U.S. here in big gold medal action?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had trepidation like this before a Canada-U.S. game in a long time.
I know.
I mean, the betting line on this game is insane. Like, I don't know if it's still up there at PA.
It is slightly. U.S. money line is minus 625.
Like, that's absurd. And like I haven't dug into this enough, and I don't really know. I'm sure afterwards. I mean, listen, I did just out of value, history, everything. Of course, I put a little sprinkle down on Team Canada in this game at like over 4-1. Crazy. But if it does go the way everyone is expecting it to go, it's going to be really interesting to see sort of the aftermath of all of this. Like, you look at this U.S. team, and we've made such a big deal about the PWHL and, the growth of women's pro hockey. Great. Like, Carolyn Harvey's leading Team USA. She's at the University of Wisconsin. Abby Murphy's been an absolute game breaker for them. She's a Golden Gopher. Like, these are young players that have not yet even graduated into the pro ranks that are moving it for them. And like, are we just not producing these players? Or did they do the old Hockey Canada, we're going to go with the vets, and these people have been there before, they know how to win, and leave some more talented younger players? Like, I don't know. I think probably the worst scenario is that we just haven't been producing players the way the United States are at that lower youth levels.
Yeah, if that's the issue, we're years away from correcting that one then. Because just all of a sudden, we're not just going to have with snap of the finger and create talent out of nowhere. That takes some time. Based on everything that I have read on, it's the big part here is Canada just stuck with the old guard. Canada's stuck with the vets, and they haven't tried mixing in or bringing in more of the younger people out of, I guess, respect. They're wanting to stick with the older players. And I've been struggling with the best way to wording this, because obviously we want Canada to win golds. But I brought this up with like Sean Bell yesterday on the Hangout and stuff, and it's one of those. I'm not. Maybe this is the way it is. I'm not upset if we lose today, and in fact, if we lose today, I actually hope then it's by a decent margin, to cause a little bit of embarrassment for the people that run Hockey Canada, the people that were selecting this team, to force their hand to try to figure out what they did wrong and be forced to answer for what they did wrong in possibly selection of this. Like, this isn't a surprise at this tournament that the Americans are dominating us, that came out of nowhere. We had the rivalry series. They were here in Edmonton not that long ago. Canada lost 10-4 in the first game. Just got absolutely rolled. I think it was like 5-1 or something in the second game. Like, this has just been pure domination for a while from the U.S., and
The
we haven't
rivalry
made it.
series, it was 24-7.
Yeah.
Was the goals.
And we haven't done anything to try to to fix this or change this or even get some youth in on this roster to try to get them that experience and stuff. That as much like I almost feel like if we win a gold, they'll be justified in what they did, and the Americans are just going to keep still rolling us moving forward. And like it's not going to be if we win today. Like what's the blueprint for Canada? It's going to have to be a tight defensive game. And try to make like we'll be outshot 30 something to 16, but it is very much like what Canada would be playing against France type thing in a sense. Maybe not that terrible in that sense, but there's again, and I want Canada to win, but if we lose, I'm not totally upset because I'm hoping it causes the change that is necessary so that this doesn't happen again. That when we're talking about the Women's World Championships over the next number of years, but then we're getting set for the 2030 Olympics in the French Alps, we're not coming into this tournament knowing that the Americans are just going to roll us.
Yeah. It's too bad. And again, like maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves based on all these other ones and we're going to come up big and win it. And, then as we mentioned, we'll have plenty of other conversations about where we go from here. But just from like, never mind the Canadian perspective, just from a hockey perspective, a women's hockey perspective, that rivalry is so good for women's hockey. And if you lose the wondering who's going to win, and all of a sudden, instead of having two teams that everyone's chasing, it's just one, that's not great for women's hockey as well. I mean, I will say this. The Swiss, made it to the bronze game, which is great. I mean, for the longest time, it was just Canada and the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, when I was with Hockey Canada putting on the World Women's here in Winnipeg, like just about 20 years ago. I mean, it was the beginning of like the Jocelyn Larocque era. Like, unbelievable. She's still doing it right now on the Canadian blue line. But, it was Canada. And the USA was challenging them. And then the Swedes and the Finns like had a little bit, but they took a big step in the 10 years after that. And there have been a couple of incredible upsets. I mean, the only times that Canada or US have ever lost to other teams has happened kind of in the aftermath.
06, Sweden famously beating the Americans to get to the gold medal game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's one of, I think, only two times that it's ever happened. But you think about these other teams. I mean, dude, it was embarrassing at that time for countries that have big time men's programs like the Russians. And again, Russia's whatever right now because of where they're at in the world and they're not involved in this. But, it just shows you how different cultures and countries have treated their female athletes in the past because like they were coming with like garbage equipment and I mean it just didn't seem like it was possible for that Russian Ice Hockey Federation. But again, it was always going to come down to Canada, USA. We're seeing it so far, and I mean, just the longer this game can stay tight and stay close, we'll have a little bit of drama for it, and maybe just maybe MPP can kind of be that female version of Sidney Crosby that she already is and add another incredible chapter to her legacy.
It is 0-0, obviously very early in this hockey game, about 4 minutes into the game. The U.S. does outshoot Canada at this moment, 2-0. When it comes to the men's, they're taking on Finland tomorrow, 8:40 here in Edmonton, 9:40 out where you are in Winnipeg. We don't know the stat. John Cooper still keeping it open that Sidney Crosby could play tomorrow. I think a lot of us would be a little shocked maybe if I wouldn't be shocked if he plays in the tournament still. I'd maybe be a little more shocked if he's playing tomorrow immediately. But if he doesn't play tomorrow, is Canada, where's the level of concern for you with this Canadian side without a Sidney Crosby?
Like this is one of the greatest teams that's ever been put together. And I think that if there was any player on this team that the rest of the guys would absolutely like legitimately rally around if they needed anything more, 87 is that dude. And Cooper even spoke about it a little bit yesterday. Like, we're not letting this be Sid's last game. We're not having him go out like this. I still, frankly, wouldn't be surprised if he was on the team in 4 years. I mean,
well, there's a part of me that sits there, like, it's not that far away. Like, the 4 years, considering, like, how old is he officially?
He's 38.
He's 38. He turns in August. So, yeah, he's 38. So, you're talking about 42 at the next Olympics. He is producing still at a very high level with sports science and all of that. We've seen athletes play very well far. Like, it's where I'll go with this is I remember, at the last World Cup in soccer, it was going to be Lionel Messi's last World Cup. Everyone talked about that. This is it. This is him for him and Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, this is, they've done it. And we're getting set for a World Cup in 112 days. And Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo both are going to be playing in it still. So it's like the World Cup's only 2 years away. The Olympics is only, what if he goes out there and he's playing at the World Cup and he goes, the Olympics is only 2 years. I got this. I'm with you. I don't put it past the fact that he could be there in 2030.
No, and I would bet money that he's on the World Cup team.
Okay, here's a question. And then maybe this is more of, he can't play the rest of this tournament. Connor McDavid takes over the seat. Is he still your captain? Or does he personally hand the torch himself off and go, I'm not this captain anymore of this team, though?
Are you talking World Cup or the Olympics in 4 years?
I think it's both. Whatever happens at the World Cup would be the same thing at the Olympics.
Yeah. I mean, listen, with where he is right now, unless there's like a massive precipitative drop off and it's like, is he going to be on the team? Is he not? Like, it's a no brainer. He's one of our best players. He's on the team right now. This is not a lifetime achievement award. His spot on Team Canada.
He's still producing at an extremely incredible level. Like, it's unbelievable.
And he is the most experienced. He's the heart and soul of the team. He is the leader. He should be the captain of this team. And I think you could absolutely make that argument in 2 years. If they come back and if they come back and do that. If he were to still be playing at 42 and be on that Canadian team, and I think the significance of the Olympic Games, significance of it, I think that would be the time
to hand it.
To hand it. I think it would mean a lot to McDavid or whoever the new captain is to have that done on a team with Sid on it, with his blessing that, I'm here. I'm part of the team. I'll be doing everything I can to help us win as I have for 25 years. But you're the guy now. And I support you. The C's going on your chest. I think that would make a lot of sense. And I think that's something that Crosby would absolutely do. Like, the thing that makes him such a great leader and such a great captain is just how selfless he is in everything that he does for Team Canada. And just as far as, I put this out as a question on WST and we had a fun time going on it. We were kind of pegging like percentage chances. And like 42 in 4 years, it is a long time. And like, I don't know whether it would say it was greater than 50%, but I think that I pegged it like, I'd say 35 for sure. And I'll tell you what, if there's a guy that I would not want to bet against, even if I'm pegging it as a 35% chance with the 65% on the other side, Sidney Crosby's the guy. So what helps would be amazing if he could come back and play on Sunday, assuming we win tomorrow.
What helps with that too, though, for him being there is the fact that the Penguins aren't trash right now. Like, if the Penguins are sitting right at the bottom of the conference, which I think many thought would be more likely the case this year as opposed to sitting second in their division. Absolutely. Like, I think maybe then it's, okay, Crosby's not going to want to be around a Penguins team that is just so awful. So, like, what are his next steps? Does he finish his career in Pittsburgh? Does he go somewhere else? I think that's kind of, okay, well, he's done it all. Maybe pillar or post as a Penguin is what he wants. But the fact that the Penguins maybe could be good for the next couple of years. We'll see what they could keep doing and if they could keep building off of this. Then okay, maybe that's, he's having a lot of fun and he's getting to the playoffs and he's enjoying himself, that, when, we get into that cycle where we're getting closer, a year and a half, 2 years out of the Olympics. Maybe he starts looking, he's like, that's going to be one of my goals. That's going to be my final season, the entire thing. I'm going to finish it off that season. That's going to be my last Olympics. I'm going to go to the French Alps. Let's go do this one more time. So the fact that the Penguins are there, I do think helps the odds of him being there. We will find out tomorrow if he's going to be in the lineup. Canada, Finland, minus 588 is the money line for Canada. The Americans minus 1429 against the Slovakians.
Just on that Crosby topic, you bring up a great point. Like, I think it is important to note, where he is and where the Penguins team is. Because I think we've seen pretty clearly that he's not going to get traded. Like, I think
he'd have to ask for it outright and be like, I want to go play with McKinnon, type thing.
Trust me, last year that would have been there. And you don't think Dubas would have loved, his plan is to come in and kind of recreate this team for the next decade, 15 years. Like, what they would have been able to have done with a trade like that would have been really significant for Dubas's plans. That never happened. And I think, listen, Sid's done everything. He has literally zero left to prove. And I think being like Mario, like a lifer in Pittsburgh and an all-time Pittsburgh sports icon, is important to him. But if the Penguins, now this is a great story this year. And it's funny. I just heard that, they're going to be talking to Malkin about extending for a year. It was thought that this was going to be his last season. But as they get all these picks and these young players coming in, like, even at 41, 42, could you have a better guy in a room to bring in these young players? Like, I think.
Well, who was playing with Crosby when he started?
Exactly. Mario.
Yeah.
So maybe Crosby will be the guy that's rooming, like the, it's like the hot shot first rounders coming and living in his place, kind of like it before, which does remind me of year one of the Jets being back. Maybe the greatest Winnipeg Arena chant of all time. The Penguins came, and it was actually the Jets' first ever win. They did beat them in 2011, but the chant was Mario's pool boy. Shout out to the fans.
I've always respected the chants. Did they still happen as they did? Like, especially when the Jets first came back, there was always some sort of creative chants. Do they still happen as often as they did? Because, like, the best one was Ottinger. A couple, what was it, last year or whatever, was U.S. backup or whatever, which was just brilliant.
U.S. backup. Well, the original one for that was right after the Olympics in 2011 when Ryan Miller was in. It was just the entire place chanting silver medal, over and over and over again. So, there's been some creativity. It's different now, 15 years later, the fan base is a little different. There's different challenges, but overall, it's there's still some good ones. And this year in particular, there's been some good ones. By the way, they're hanging in. I guess Canada had a power play. I didn't really see, but
they did have a power play.
Back up at 4.
It's still 0-0. As I said, tied in shots about halfway through this first period. I haven't, obviously, can't watch it too closely. Somebody said, Casino Dealer J saying Canada a bit shaky. At least they're getting some shots on the net. More than ever, I think for Canada, that to a degree, that first goal is so important for them to get. Just with how few goals the Americans have allowed this tournament. The only thing about that is Tommy pointed out during the hangout that when that rivalry series did come to Edmonton, Canada scored that first goal early in one of the games, and then America rattled off 10. So they're a team that could absolutely score, but I'd much rather have the Canadians trying to defend against the firepower that the Americans have, as opposed to trying to find a goal still, while one mistake could easily just go back and be another goal for the Americans. Tomorrow with these lines, like the money lines are ridiculous. Anything you look at, like, okay, Canada, Finland, -1.5 on the spread. Close call yesterday. taking on this Finnish team that, they needed to come back and claw their way back down 2 against Switzerland. Does Canada learn from those and take care of business early in this one? How do you view this game taking place between Canada and Finland tomorrow?
Well, as heart-stopping and as stressful as yesterday was, I think it's a great thing for Canada. They had not really been in any sort of a really tense situation, and it was going to happen at some point.
Always does.
For it to happen in the quarterfinals the way that it did, I think only strengthens their confidence, their resolve, especially for a number of the players like a Nick Suzuki, for instance, that came up so big that has never been in anything remotely close to a game of this magnitude. So I actually like them, I think, even more in the Finns, not that I'm expecting them to get down again, but I just think that they are so focused, so mentally prepared, and that belief grows. And we saw the same thing last year in the Four Nations. In the final, they were down. Sam Bennett ties it up. And then, much like yesterday, I mean, it's not perfect. The other team had some great scoring chances. And Jordan Binnington came up huge when his team needed them the most, and then they were able to finish it. So I think Canada in particular, that test is going to really help them. USA, I'm not as sure because of the way that it happened. Like, they were up with a minute and a half left. And Mike Sullivan decided to put that bum-ass JT Miller out there who couldn't get the puck out, turned it over at the blue line, and the next thing you know, it was in the net. So I think they really feel like they survived. Canada's adversity was earlier in the game. So, and again, obviously I'm looking at this through a Canadian lens, but I think that we are absolutely ready to go for tomorrow. I think I will probably touch on Canada on the puck line, to win this game. And the big questions is, will Morrissey be back? What's the latest on Sidney Crosby? And I don't know, we'll get into this on WST, but the hole that Crosby leaves in the lineup is really significant. And they sort of filled it on the fly. I think Bo Horvat's been freaking awesome in this tournament. So maybe you throw Horvat there. There's an argument just to put Nick Suzuki there. Suzuki's a great 200-foot player. Seems way more comfortable at center. I think he's going to have a real jump after the goal and that. Because having Marner and Stone on those wings, that's the unit that I want to see playing against the best players on the other teams. There's no two better players in the league in turning the puck over with better sticks. And both of them have scored big, big goals so far. The big question to me, Matt, is whether they go with the nuclear option, Oilers style, and throw Nate Dogg up with Macklin Celebrini and Connor McDavid, or do you play Tom Wilson, Reinhart, one of those other guys there, and have McKinnon play center? And that's the one thing, the McKinnon line hasn't really clicked so far. Although the guy who he was playing with, I thought Brandon Hagel in the third period was the best we've seen of Brandon Hagel in the entire tournament. So I'm kind of buoyed on him. And here's the other thing. I know he was the last guy added. Seth Jarvis popped to me yesterday. And he was getting played late in the third period as well. So bottom line is, I think we've got the best coach. I got full confidence that John Cooper is going to put our team in the best chance to win. And then it's a matter of the guys going out and showing they're the best team in the world.
Well, just on the point on Cooper yesterday in 3-on-3, and then when he got to overtime, he puts Makar out there with McDavid and McKinnon to start. But it was immediate. Once they got possession, Makar left the ice. I think Pasternak followed him, but it was okay, I'm going to separate these guys. Makar was clearly on the ice to make sure, they were struggling in the face-off dot against the Czechs yesterday. It was okay, we're going to get possession with these three guys at some point, but then we could separate Makar from ththese ones. We're going to put Makar somewhere else. We could put, I think it was Taze that came over the boards. And just that right there is the coaching of John Cooper. I think we were all talking beforehand of 3-on-3. Well, it's got to be McKinnon, McDavid, and Makar. And Cooper did something different where he was them, but it was an immediate off for Makar which just changed the lineups I think for the rest of the way for what would have been if it was a longer 3-on-3. I think if you're going to go the Edmonton Oilers nuclear option route, I think you do it the best way that I've seen for the Oilers. I think you start without it though. You have that as an option, and you go to it later if you need to. But you just got to try. Like to one degree, you could say yesterday that they were just running out of lines to use that were very productive, and that's the problem when you do go nuclear. That I wouldn't want to start that way. It's where like the Four Nations. I don't think McDavid had a great Four Nations. I think there was a lot of who's going to play with McDavid throughout the Four Nations, and it just wasn't finding anyone that was clicking. Right now, it's the McKinnon issue. It's who's going to play with McKinnon, who can play with McKinnon, because it just seems like can't get him going right now. So I think the best case for me would be to hold off and try to not put them together. But you always know that is still an option that you can go do and put together. The other question is, did Celebrini score yet another goal?
Did you get in on those futures?
No.
Celebrini?
I didn't. What was the futures?
That's a lock shop special. I'm on Celebrini 7-1 to lead Canada in goals and 30-1 to lead the tournament in goals.
Oh, wow.
And he right now has 5. The guys that have 4 are out. So he's got a 2-goal lead.
Well, so it goes
maximum of 2 goals left. 2 games.
He's got 5. Stützle has 4. Natchez has 3. Slafkovsky has 3. Meyer has 3. Dvorsky has 3. McKinnon has 3. Matthews has 3. So they need, there's not a lot of games left for some of those guys to catch up. And as you said, some of those, they're not playing.
Yeah, the guys with 4, Olofsson from Denmark and Stützle are out. So yeah, he's got a 2-goal cushion. And let's hope that he's able to add to that coming up. Like I played a Celebrini even if that thing loses, Celebrini's been very good because he's been plus money in every game. He's scored in every game. He is the gift that keeps on giving.
I almost just want to throw him at some sort of in a parlay. Canada minus 1.5 plus a Celebrini goal.
Well, why don't we do that right now? Let's take a look. I'm sure you can get something up for tomorrow. I think we do that. That's the positive vibes only. Canada minus 1.5. Let's go Celebrini to score. And let's see, does he finally have is it finally a minus number for him? No, I gotta guess. Obviously, the Finns are a better team too.
Yeah, I think you could get Celebrini probably for around plus 120 or something.
So why don't we do that? And then, Connor McDavid gets 2 points in his sleep in these games. We had McDavid over 1.5 points.
Yeah, I love that.
Celebrini goal.
McDavid 2 points. Canada covers the 1.5. A nice little lock shop parlay for Canada's game tomorrow. What's the plan?
See a Sunday parlay.
See a Sunday parlay.
How's then for the creative mind.
Then do we throw the Americans in there in some way, or do we just leave them completely out? Because do you want to see the Americans on Sunday?
100%.
So are you hoping they win tomorrow so we get that? Because I'm the one, the sooner they're out, the happier I am. The sooner they can't win a medal, the better I am.
No.
Take the other way.
And it's funny because, at the end, I want them to lose so badly. I did find myself very conflicted. I was pumped when Sweden tied it up late in the game. And I found myself naturally sort of when Sweden was close, I was there. But I didn't really want to play Sweden today or tomorrow.
I know.
I thought that they would have been if they had just taken down the Americans going into this one, that certainly, and then it would have been the craziest scenario if that had happened. You would have had Slovakia, Finland in one semi, and then you would have had Canada, Sweden in the other. But when it comes down to it, this is not going to mean as much if, let's just say Slovakia wins. There'll be 20% of the juice of the game on Sunday as it will be as if the Americans. I mean, what made the Four Nations so great was how the tournament started between Canada and the USA.
Yeah.
And how it ended. And for guys like us that talk sports, that talk storylines, that talk great things, there's nothing even close. So, yeah, I want their best, and I want us to bring our best, and I want us to dog walk them for 2.5 hours on Saturday morning or on Sunday morning and be able to stick it in their face every time. Those morons, and maybe the Oilers will be the team that finally win the damn cup and we don't have to hear about the damn 1993 business. But anytime that comes up, I want to point to Sunday morning and say, once again, when it's really Canada versus the USA, we beat you again.
See, and I'm with you in all of that. But then I always go to the worst case, which is like, this is why I want the Americans out as soon as possible so I don't have to worry about it. What if they finally beat us? What if they finally catch it? Like,
I got so much confidence in our team.
I know, but we did. We beat them in 2002. We beat them in 10. Beat them on their soil. Beat them on our soil. We got the Four Nations on their soil. It's one of those, like, if they take it, though, we have to hear about this for 4 years. And it doesn't matter about the Four Nations. It won't matter about the World Cup in 28. We can go win the World Cup, but they're going to hold this one over us. Got to hear the damn 51st day, all that crap. And I believe our boys could get it done, but there's always, like, weirdness could happen. We saw 8 guys on the ice yesterday when the Czech scored a goal. You know, something like that can happen, and all of a sudden that's why we don't get a goal.
Loser mentality.
I get it.
This is a loser mentality. We are the best team in the world. We are the country, and we are going to prove it on Sunday morning after we take care of the Finns, and it will be 10 times sweeter doing it against the USA.
I agree with that. It'll be sweeter, but there's also part of me. Imagine if Canada goes and wins the gold medal against the Slovakians on Sunday, and the Finns take out the Americans, and the Americans don't even get a medal out of all of this. It's just an embarrassing failure from their perspective. They're not even good enough to, like, that's my size. You're not even good enough to be on the same ice as us. That's why you're over there and you're not here playing us.
Listen, I guess that would be something that we could say, but again, we know that, like, let's face it, it's going to mean way more to them with the opportunity to take us out. Like,
I know.
At a certain point, rivalries are meant. It's like this. Like, if the U.S. had somehow gotten upset by the Swiss or whoever they played in the Finns in the women's final, and Canada went and won the gold medal, all we'd be talking about is, well, hey, it was great that we won the gold, but man, this whole story would be the choke job of the U.S. and how we didn't get the Canada-USA final.
That wouldn't be the same for the men's. We would just be happy that we won the gold.
I think. Listen, we have a team with Connor McDavid, Macklin Celebrini,
Cale Makar,
hopefully Sidney Crosby. We have owned them, and I think we will continue to own them.
Yeah, I got to wait for the next message to come into the nest, Jack. I'm wanting to know what his next comment is here, because he says, hear me out for a case for preferring a Canada versus U.S. bronze medal game. We still get it. We still get Canada-US, but only one winner is the winner is taking home a medal. The loser gets nothing.
What will Trump say after a Canada win? Like, that's the other thing that I'm really looking forward to, because they'll be beforehand.
I could tell you exactly what he'll say if Canada beats the U.S. in the gold medal game. It will be along the lines of, enjoy this, Canada, because China's going to take away the Stanley Cup from you right away, and you've got nothing. They're going to take, like, that is the progression that's going to be. Enjoy this. This is the last ice hockey thing, because he loves saying ice hockey thing that you will have. China's going to take it from you, unless your Governor Carney figures thing. Like, there's the Truth Social post that's coming.
The real event was the women's gold medal game.
Yes. Although right now, 1:30 to go, 8-6 Canada outshooting the Americans. It is 0-0 right now in that gold medal game. But so yeah, the see ya Sunday parlay, Canada -1.5, Celebrini anytime goal, Connor 2+ points. Are we going to throw in an American thing there then, or do we just?
Because I'm just looking, like, the money line is so obscene that
Do you take them though the same at -1.5 like the Canadians?
You know what? I don't trust them enough to do that.
I agree.
To be perfectly honest,
I agree.
I don't trust them enough. Like I think they'll get there, but there is no chance I would be putting the 2.5, and I think even the 1.5. Like, I think that could be another tight game.
Yeah. If we did the Canada -1.5 anytime goal, Connor 2+ points after a boost, they'll probably be around 275-ish, maybe 3, somewhere in there.
A fun way, because like with Canada at -433 and Celebrini just over even money to score, we got to figure out a way to get a little piece in for tomorrow. How have you been enjoying and doing the hangouts while the games have been on?
It was fine because we've done it twice. It was fine when it was the first game that happened at that time, and I'm trying to remember, that would have been against the Czechs. The first game, I guess, both of them were against the Czechs, I believe. And we had a good conversation, but it's the opening of the tournament. It's, the long way to go. Yesterday there was points where there was just silence. And trying to figure out, okay, well, but as that game was getting tighter down the end, there wasn't a lot being said. And I'm also I don't want to be talking about the NBA over here while Canada's taking on the Czechs. Yeah. And it's a 2-1 hockey game right now. I'm trying to see if Canada's getting the equalizer here. So it's been fun. I know everyone's watching it. Everyone's paying attention to it. So we'll get it again tomorrow. Right now, Jay, Tommy, and I will be in, and we'll be paying attention to the game, and we'll be talking about what we're seeing. And, it's fun to, early on, you talk about whatever as well. But as that third period approaches, especially if that game's tight, the nerves settle in, and the words spoken per minute significantly drops as that gets going. Yeah. There's no question.
No, there's no funny. I mean, obviously that clip of me and Dusty with the end of the game yesterday was something else. We've had people for a long time since we started WST wanting us to get to do a watch along stream. We're going to do one tomorrow morning, and it's the perfect time to do it. It's perfect time to do it. In that it's a game that everyone's going to be locked into. A lot of our YouTube people will be sort of paying attention. If they're unfortunate enough to have to work, they'll be checking out so they can just sort of hang out with us. And again, I am like you, we come from a radio background, right? Where you don't want any dead air, but these sort of things are totally different. I mean, this is something that's accompanying. It's kind of like you're pulling up a chair beside us as we watch the game. So anyways, that should be fun. So as soon as that game's over, I'll be bumping from one to the other and jumping in with you guys to take on the hopefully just basically start talking about all the pressures on the USA.
Oh yeah,
get to the gold medal game.
It'd just be nice if Canada get up to a nice 3-0 lead through that first, and then just settle things in the rest of the way. My heart's gonna. It had yesterday. My heart needs the break until Sunday. Let's just have a nice simple game. And not have to worry, as Elliot Friedman said on the broadcast yesterday, I need a cigarette. Let's not have one of those moments where we all need to go grab a smoke.
Actually, we're going to need a smoke Sunday around 9:45. A nice little AM cigar, people. That is the plan. Hey, a couple quick things, but so far so good in this women's game. Again, from what I've seen. And listen, if you told me that they could just be playing tight and it's tied after one, to me, that's the perfect scenario. In fact, I'll bet if you're looking at any live betting, the Canada number is going to be dropping like a stone here, because the longer it's tied, where one goal is going to be the difference, this becomes a lot closer to a pick'em than it does a -625 favorite. So listen, 0-0 through one. Awesome start for Canada. We're talking about winning the game. I mean, there's no style points. They just have to find a way. And it looks like Emery Desbiens had a nice start. You want to get your gear tender to make a few saves early on. And they're in a pretty good position. So I think we're definitely taking this so far. I wanted to ask you, though, about Olympics, outside of the hockey. Big win for Rachel Homan today.
Yes, watched that earlier.
Koreans. I am very, very sad though that the U.S. somehow beat Tirzoni, the Swiss team, because what that ended up doing is knocking the Koreans out. I love that Korean team. It was brutal that it was a win and in for Homan, because I kind of really were hoping that both of those teams would get in and maybe pull off upsets and play for a gold medal game. So we bid farewell to the Korean women and the Japanese women are just so much fun. Like their vibe, their smile, everything. I mean, they're so much fun. Italy was a very popular team as well. I saw they've been referred to in Italian circuses as the Italian ice princesses.
Huh.
And the girl that, it's always fun. Kind of, you see these people for the first time, you kind of dig in, you really look them up online. That girl that was the skip of the Italian team was a gold medalist in Beijing in 2022 in the mixed.
Yep.
So it's neat to kind of see. Obviously, the Jacobs rink has been awesome.
Yeah, they're on right now. They're taking on Norway in the semifinal action. Blank through the first end. So we're into the second end.
Semi?
We're in semifinals now. Yeah. So Canada, Norway. Winner moves to the gold. Losers off to the bronze.
Whoa. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. I thought this was the last one of the round robin.
No,
and then,
no, it's semis. And then tomorrow, Homan, she takes on Sweden in their semis, which I think this is Homan's first time making the playoffs. I want to say, is this only her second or is this her third time at the Olympics? I think it's her third.
Yeah.
I think it's her third time at the Olympics, and I don't think they got to the playoffs in either of the two. And a really rough start, 1-3. Even that game against Italy yesterday, she gave up 3 in the 10th. And Italy forced it extras, and Homan, then they got the win. But they play 2:00 Italian time, so that's noon. 6 a.m., I believe, if I'm doing my time zone math correctly. 6 a.m. Homan and Sweden tomorrow. But yeah, on the men's side, Switzerland, Great Britain are underway. And Jacobs and Norway, they are underway in semifinal action, second end. So it's nice. I've got 2 monitors to my left. I've got women on the bottom for hockey. I've got the curling on the top. It's been a good lock shop for watching. And I'm going to miss the Olympics. I'm not going to lie. Like for me, I've really enjoyed spending all day watching sports and then actually not watching sports at night and catching up on a few other things and not having the NHL or caring about the NBA or something. I've actually really enjoyed that part of these last 2 weeks personally.
Yeah, no doubt. So the Canada-Norway game, 7:05 CET. So that's the one that's just underway. Now, is that? What channel is that on?
I use the CBC Gem app. You could pick whatever you want.
On the Gem?
Yeah, because you could just pick any event you want whenever you want it. The main CBC, I think, has the gold medal game. Obviously, it should for the women. I don't know if TSN or Sportsnet will have the curling. But yeah, CBC Gem, I just have it going on there. It's been weird watching curling without Vic Rauter describing it to us. It's been weird without Vic Rauter.
4 cans of flat Coke.
Yeah, it's weird not having that there, but Brad Jacobs' rink, they've been doing great, and they're going to also be able to. I don't know where the Briar is this year. I forgot, but they're Team Canada at the Briar. Because of the timing, they can still play in the Briar, whereas the women you're getting set for the Olympics. So unfortunately, Rachel Homan couldn't be Team Canada at the Olympics this year, or at the Scotties this year, but they'll be able to hopefully go to the Briar as gold medal champions. We'll see how this game plays out against Norway. And mountaineering happened today.
Sorry?
Did you see any of the mountaineering that happened today?
I was just about to bring that up. New sport alert.
Only saw highlights while we were on the hangout. We were watching whatever we were watching, and they were showing highlights. And we're like, is this the mountaineering? Because this looks cool. It looks awesome. Did you watch it at all?
Okay, I just saw a little bit of it. I had a meeting this morning. I talked to Remus before I jumped on. He said, oh, man. Because I'd been talking all week. I'm like, when is this ski mountaineering? I'm very intrigued to see it. And he goes, dude, guys were climbing up at the end and they were just collapsing and falling like they're going so hard. But yeah, you basically climb a mountain and then ski down.
It was so cool.
So I'm going to, then you mentioned, like, listen, we're locked in on these games right now. Jacobs, Team Canada women. But tonight's a night for some of these other things. And I think I'm just going to go to Gem, fire up
replay.
the start of the mountaineering and watch the whole thing. Here's another stat. I don't know if you saw this yesterday. One Olympic sport in the Winter Olympics accounts for 20% of all of the ticket sales. What sport is that?
I want to say figure skating.
Nope.
I'm assuming it's not. Is it curling?
It's not curling.
And it's not hockey, I'm assuming.
Not hockey.
Speed skating?
No.
Which one?
20%. Number one ticket sales event, 20% of the entire Olympic Games. Biathlon.
Really?
The biathlon. And I guess the huge, the number one event for the biathlon is, I think it's called the mass start, where, you know, like in a lot of ones, you know, they time it. So the racers go through, they do it, and it's in stages. The mass start is where everyone starts at the same time. And they go and they've got they have to hit 5 targets and they've got 8 bullets. And if they don't make it, they have to go and skate the penalty lap or ski the penalty lap and then go back and do it. So it's like the free for all. It is like the Winter Olympics, a version like of the marathon or sort of the steeplechase. But I had no idea it was so popular. And you know the history of the biathlon? Like everyone was, it is sort of funny. Like, you know what, everyone? Why don't you go out and we're gonna go have a nice day of cross country skiing? You know what we should do? Bring guns. Like, where does that come from? It's old Nordic military training where you know,
that makes
they'd
sense.
be going over long things and that's sort of the genesis of the biathlon. And I think that's why, you know, the Norwegians in particular and those countries there have such an affinity for it. And apparently it's huge. And we got 20%. The big one coming up as well. So there's your a little bit of Olympic knowledge today. I learned that yesterday. I was blown away.
It's this is why I love the Olympics. All the stuff you learn about different sports that you had no idea about. Huss, I won't see it before tomorrow or anything. So enjoy the hockey game tomorrow. Enjoy that watch along. What's coming up on WST this afternoon?
What is coming up? Can we? Because you got actually a little bit of Jets news. Sounds like they're going to be sitting down with Big Stan and potentially talking about a contract extension. Oh, that won't get people going on in the chat at all. Brandon Wickie's going to join us. Our own Liz Hood is on the women's gold medal game. She's going to be jumping on with us, and a lot of talk about tomorrow's game. Matty, I'm looking forward to catching up with you because I know the guys are going to be gone next week. I'll text you, but if this one gets hairy at the end tomorrow, let's hope it won't be. Maybe if you want to just keep Dusty company for a few minutes at the start of tomorrow's lock shop until I can jump over. Yeah, there's that, or I might just extend the hangouts, seeing how that game plays out. We'll make that work, no problem. Great idea. Like, but we'll get it all figured out just because hopefully it's not hairy. Hopefully it's where we're feeling good late in that third going, let's get ready for Sunday. Huss, enjoy that. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We'll talk with you a little bit later. Let's cash that ticket as well. Absolutely. Sunday parlay. See us Sunday parlay. We'll send this over to the Play Alberta crew. Canada -1.5 tomorrow against the Finns. A celebrating anytime goal. This guy's been scoring in every game. Let's keep it going. As says Hernan might say, he's due. Well, he keeps going, so I'm just going to go with he's due. Connor McDavid, 2+ points. We'll get that over. Click on EST specials for that. We'll have let's do a parlay later today. We'll have Jay's play of the day. We'll have the grandest parlay. We'll get all those up as well. Coming up on Edmonton Sports Talk, we've got the two guys in a goalie up next. It's Trev, Gage, or Cass. We've got EST Afternoons. We've got the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Mill. And that's all going to take you until 6 o'clock right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. On behalf of us, I am Matt. Thanks for tuning to Lock Shop, presented by Play Alberta. As I said, two guys in a goalie coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.